Hey everyone, welcome back to another Today in Tarkov, and this is going to be an exciting one, a fun one. We got a message today, another one from BSG. This time they didn't tweet it, they put it out on their Discord, which is unusual. I don't think it really means anything, but nonetheless, it wasn't tweeted, it was on their Discord. It's right here. And I've spent the last like 6 or 7 hours connecting dots because this filled in a ton of information. And I'm still not done doing that yet, but I wanted to get this information out for you guys so you could have it. I mean, to be straight up honest, this is the first time I've struggled to get a tit out for you guys in a while. So let's not waste any more time, and we'll get right into what the message says. We had it translated by some of our folks in the Discord, and it's kind of cool because the translations between what like Bikizi and some of the other guys put out there, it's always a little bit different because it's just different takes on Russian to English. So here's ours. This Chupasil, and I'm going to mispronounce some of these Russian names, by the way, but Chupasil is basically loosely dumbass. You wouldn't believe what I got myself into. I almost got killed by raiders. They kept me tied up on the factory, but I frayed the rope. I'll tell you about everything in details later. I'm hiding from them now. I'm staying at the Lighthouse right now. For sure, you will tell them they don't care about me and they don't need me anymore. But I feel in my gut someone is watching me. P.S. By the way, there is no traitor here. That exact one that sold high-tier electronics to the rich, I wish nothing bad would happen on the top of technology now. This is the same guy. Again, sorry if I'm butchering that. This is the same guy that was writing the letters with the previous event last month with the Raiders being on factory and Tagilla went to interchange for a weekend. Same guy. We can draw that line basically because he talks about being tied up with Raiders, and the Raiders said they had the scav that was going to sell them information, and to get rid of him, it looks like they didn't. It looks like he escaped. Now, the guys last month, they brought this up. I didn't think anything of it, but Rishi translates loosely to ginger or redhead, slang for redhead, which that's important here in a sec. We'll get to that. And on top of that, the Chupashil thing, it's a very specific term, and it's a nickname here, it looks like. It's not necessarily the guy's name, but it basically means, I mean, dumbass is one way of putting it, but it means both ignorant and stupid. It's got some specific meanings in Russian, but it's kind of a shitty thing to call somebody. But the fact that he misspelled Rishi's name, which Rishi was bitching about in the other note, says that this guy isn't just dumb. He didn't get through grade school, because the grammatical error that it was talked about in the letter is something that everybody learns very young in school in Russia. And why that's important, I don't know yet, but it is. You wouldn't put a detail like that in one of these notes unless it meant something. And we might not have all the pieces for it yet, but I think we'll get them further down the road here. Like it says here, last we heard, we thought the Raiders were going to kill him, but it looks like he escaped, and he headed to Lighthouse to hide from them, which kind of makes sense because if you look at a lot of the tasks on Lighthouse, it's kind of overrun by scavs. That's what all the traders want you to do. They can't do stuff on the Lighthouse map because scavs control it, and that's why you have to kill so many of them. Morbid, but that's how the tasks work. So kind of makes sense that's where he would go to hide. But in spite of that, he still feels like he's being watched. He also can't find the trader, or says the trader's not there. And apparently the trader deals in high-end electronics. And since the trader isn't around, something might happen with these high-end electronics. So this may be hinted at upcoming event. Nothing's changed in the economy right now other than people that are obviously buying up all the thermals and flares that they can because they feel like something's happening. But there hasn't actually been anything changed yet that we can see. Now, does this mean there's going to be a shortage on electronics? I don't know. It's really hard to tell. It's a possibility, but this is really cryptic on how they're talking about it. But it does tell us that the Lighthouse trader deals in electronics. So does that mean that he can sell them? So maybe we can go get found and raid, COFDMs or military circuit boards or graphic cards and get them found and raid, since they're technically in raid when we get them, because he's going to be an in-raid trader. Does it mean that he needs high-end electronic items? That's what he barters with. Like when you go to buy stuff from him, that's what you need to bring him as high-end electronics. Or maybe he pays a better price for them than other people than the other traders do. Like you can go sell, instead of graphics cards are worth like 100 some odd K, maybe he pays 200K for them. I don't know. That's all speculation. Just thoughts, thinking out loud right there. But we'll keep an eye out. Usually these events happen on Fridays and they go through the weekend. So we'll look Thursday night, Friday morning, and see if we get another letter or something that'll indicate that. Now, this all ties into that Lighthouse Morse code video we got where you kind of saw the Raiders milling about and the Lighthouse was blinking a Morse code message. That message states red scav, friend or foe. So this is where Rishi, the whole redhead ginger thing, comes in, because I believe this is talking about Rishi. Somebody in Lighthouse, the trader or cultists maybe, is signaling somebody else, probably the rogues, asking, is this dude, this scav, this redhead guy, is he friend or foe? That's my take on it. Now, I have a few more theories that kind of tie all this together, back everything up, have a bunch more expansion, but I'm still trying to get it down on paper to where I can explain it to you guys. I can give you backup. I'll do a video probably tomorrow, maybe Thursday, to try to get you guys that so I can kind of expand on it, because it does change all sorts of stuff. I was wrong about several things, and it kind of hints at some things we weren't expecting. Now, moving on, I think it was Sunday. It was either yesterday. It was either Monday or Sunday. We got a picture of the RSH-12, which is a semi-automatic revolver that shoots the same ammo as the Ash-12. Now, semi-automatic revolver, it's really hard to explain. We've got a video here of one IRL being shot. Basically, the action cycles itself. It's crazy. This thing is an insane piece of machinery. And yes, it does shoot the same ammo as the Ash-12. So PSP-12 and a revolver, it's going to make the Rhino look like a BB gun. I guess more so than it already is. Not here or there, but a big-ass revolver. Now, as you can see from the video, there's lots of attachments, braces, scopes, all sorts of fancy shit you can put on here. Does that mean we're going to get it all in the game? I don't know. We won't know yet. We won't until we get it. But a weapon like this kind of strikes me as, I don't know if this thing's even going to go in a pistol slot. This might be a primary weapon, which would make it a meme weapon, but an interesting meme weapon nonetheless. But I mean, unless you're Hellboy or something, you're not going to be slinging a revolver like this on your hip. It's just too big, especially if it has a brace. Now, to counter that argument, the Glock with a pistol brace on it allows you to sling it in your pistol slot. So maybe it won't matter. Maybe it's a gameplay thing. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, last thing we got today that we'll talk about is this cryptic picture we got from Nikita on Twitter. Now, at first, I couldn't quite figure out what this was, but it became very apparent very quickly that this was some kind of landmine. So started digging around and stumbled across a couple pictures of these weird landmines. Followed that trail, ended up, and it looks like this thing is going to be a Palm 2. That's a type of landmine the Russians use, and it's crazy kind of landmine. It's like an automatic landmine. You can use it as a hand grenade. Basically, you can pull the pin, you throw it, and it can blow up as a grenade, I guess, depending on how you set it, or it'll self-deploy itself. Now, we got this video here showing you exactly how it works, but basically, a charge pops, it kind of moves a little bit, another charge goes off, and these fins come down, and it rights itself. And then after that, another charge goes off and deploys tripwires. This thing automatically deploys tripwires. So you could potentially throw this landmine from wherever, like a grenade, and then a couple of seconds later, boom, instant landmine, instant trap. I mean, thinking about all the stuff you can do with this in engagements, aside from the whiny everybody's complaining about extract camping and stuff, there's a lot of tactical stuff. I think it's going to be really cool having stuff like this in the game. Now, Nikita said claymores are coming, landmines, all sorts of stuff, so I doubt this is going to be it. But it's going to change game mechanics. We're going to get new game mechanics eventually with this. This one, not so much. Maybe if it's automatically deployed, there's nothing. All you got to do is throw it and it does its thing. But claymores and other stuff require either lines that you would detonate manually, or you have to set tripwires up somehow. So those mechanics have to be added to the game if we're going to be using mines in that way. If we are, we might not. So how do you deploy wires? Or if you set a landmine, does it just automatically deploy a tripwire in some fashion? How visible are these things going to be? You know, can you trip them? Can you, I mean, we can't obviously throw sticks and stuff, but, you know, can you throw a flashbang at it and trip it, or maybe throw a grenade at it, or shoot it and detonate it and disable it somehow, or disarm it? All of those things are questions of mechanics that are going to have to come in with these. And because of those mechanics, there's a lot of strategy that can be added to the game, and just more depth and more choices. Now, on the more wild side of this isn't from BSG. When we were tweeting and talking about this on Twitter, I asked Devil Dog Gamer if he had any more information on this. And boy, does he never let down. He came up with this picture. So apparently these grenades can be fitted to RPG rockets. So you could technically have an RPG and fire this rocket and put a grenade pretty much anywhere you wanted to on a map. Now, we do know RPGs are coming. Is this coming? I don't know. They did a really good job of modeling how impact grenades work, the realism and their fuses and their delays and stuff. So it's entirely possible we may get something like this, which I think is just absurdly awesome. I mean, you go back to the old Modern Warfare days where you just lob noob tubes at the start of the raid and kill people, and you know how awesomely fun that was. But this is a whole nother level. This is a whole nother aspect of being able to have active denial and make people go in directions you want them to, all that kind of stuff. But that's pretty much it for today. Short and simple. Again, I will get into another video expanding on the super conspiracy theory things, and we'll even bust out the special hat, maybe even a whiteboard and some yarn and stuff. But that'll be another video. Appreciate you guys watching. Wish you the best of luck in raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.